Bro, 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 bro,
Bro, bro,
bro, bro, bro, bro, bro,
bro,
bro,
bro,
bro, bro,
bro,
bro.
bro, bro, bro,
Rufus
bro, bro.
Welcome into the Bro Force Squad podcast. We're coming at you live from a boat, here to give you another world famous movie commentary on Jaws. We have our movies paused at the Universal and MCA company is fully on the screen. For me and for Matt, that's the second Universal picture that comes up. While you guys get sunk up with us, no boat pun intended. That was bad. That was bad. We're going to go to my left, our enforcer in the paint, Matthew F. Geiger. Geiger, I know that you had a similar situation to what they deal with here in Jaws, but was it with a squirrel, from my understanding? How did you handle that?
Yes, a squirrel basically took over my yard. Kind of like it's not the same because the ocean's not technically yours, but it took over my yard, and I had to basically call Covert Red and have everyone just basically stop what they're doing, stop raising their kids, stop going to their job, and try to kill this fucking squirrel that was eating my daisies that was in my yard that I planted. Because I'm a planter. Everyone knows that.
Yeah.
Everyone that knows me personally knows that.
You have such
So,
a great thumb.
yeah, I could definitely relate to this movie. Absolutely. And to quote whatever Andy Samberg's band was, motherfuckers were on a boat and you're just at Kinko's straight flipping copies. Or
Couldn't
something like
have
that.
said it better myself. All right, guys. Again, we are at the Universal and MCA company, fully on the screen. We are going to hit play in 3, 2, 1. Set sail. I'm roughly like the 57 second mark. So
For everyone that is a fan of the Bro Force Squad, you know that me and Banner have done a bro back on this. But true fans said, hey, Brian, Matt, I like you guys, but that's not enough. I need a full movie commentary, so motherfuckers strap in, because that's what we're giving you right now. Do you want me to do Jeff's fun facts already? The very first blockbuster ever. This is where the term came from, Mr. Banner. And as a shark entrepreneur, or whatever we call you,
connoisseur.
you know what I'm talking about. Connoisseur, yes.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I'm the one that introduced you to Jaws. You had never seen it
It's
before.
true.
And I said on a pod, dude, you've got to watch this. Then you watched it and immediately called me and said, we're doing a bro back tonight. And we've been planning.
There are two people in my life that they offer me something, I will try to just object fully, and one is my wife and the other is Brian Banner. But Brian Banner offered me this movie, and after I watched it, I'm like, this is maybe the best movie, because you know I love nostalgia 70s 80s movies. I've never seen this. I knew about it, of course. I knew the theme song, I knew the score, never seen it. And after I saw it, I'm like, this movie still holds up for sure. It's fantastic.
It's absolutely fantastic. Do you remember like just having a bonfire in high school and everybody just like hanging out around it? Not playing with lobsters. That's kind of weird, but
no, because I didn't grow up in California like you. So we were in a cornfield, and it wasn't as cool as this at all. It was colder than fuck. But I can imagine. It looks like fun. Yeah. It'd be cool to be by the beach, absolutely. But I was in the Midwest, so it absolutely kind of fucking sucked. But we were away from our parents, away from the cops, and we drank a little bit and tried to score.
I bet getting that keg out on the beach right there would be such a pain in the ass. Those motherfuckers are heavy.
It would be a hassle for sure, yeah. And, I mean, you had to get ice. I mean, you can't just have warm beer out there. I mean,
I didn't even think about that. They didn't have it like in ice or anything.
Well, because the thing in high school, it wasn't about what you wanted. I would drink beer out of someone's armpit. It's about what would get chicks drunk, so maybe you could have fun that night. So you have to get it cold. And Banner, God damn it, man. I'm so sorry. I'm so drunk. I cannot remember where I fucking heard this from, but a wise man once told me that the first scene in a movie doesn't have to be the what is it? The best scene, but it has to set a tone. And this fucking sets a tone for sure.
This honestly, this first scene is probably the second, right there when she like has her leg up and comes down, probably the second most iconic scene from this movie, which is saying something. It's your first scene. Like, they bookend it. Your first scene, your last scene, Absolutely. And these are the two best scenes in the movie. I've got a question here. So they were wearing like sweat, like pants and like a sweater, multiple layers, right? And then she just gets naked and is swimming in this water like it's nothing. It's got to be fucking cold out. Even if it's like 60 out, you know?
I mean, this isn't even California. I'm sorry. This is
like Maine.
This is like Maine, New Jersey, or something like that. Yeah. So Steven Spielberg directed it. We should like say that. If you didn't know that, then fuck yourself. Just unsubscribe to us if you didn't know that.
Well, we still need the subscription.
We still need you. But this is in Martha's Vineyard in Massachusetts, and this came out in, I believe, release date 1975. So actually in 75, this was considered a horror movie because of what's happening right now. In this movie, my mom was in high school, and she still hates water. She hates swimming. She's never seen the ocean, which we're going to take care of this year, but she said, I want to see the ocean, but I don't want to go in it. And she always says Jaws. Like, I don't want to go in it. I'm like, Mom, like, sharks really doesn't swim this close to the... Like, is this... I'm going to pass it to you, Mr. Banner. Is this historically accurate? Does sharks swim this close to the shore?
Yeah, they definitely can. Most shark attacks happen in 3 feet of water or less.
Wow.
Yeah. But also the great whites don't attack as much as other sharks. Oh. They get...
My dick is 3 feet long, so I think I'm fine.
Yeah, you'll be all right. So what's happening here? Geiger, let me ask you this. Did you know that this movie was based off of a book?
I did know that, but I didn't want to bring it up because I knew you would take over, but go ahead.
Yeah, because of course I've read it.
Of course you have. Yeah.
Yeah. So
you read it to your daughter every night before she goes to bed, which is sick.
Of course. So I got a little fun fact I'm going to tease. In the book, his wife's character is much different. Just say that.
Like, was she more skanky or?
Yeah.
Less?
More.
Wow.
Yeah, we'll see. So Brody's the sheriff, right? Since when do sheriffs take care of what's in the ocean? Like, isn't that the Coast Guard?
Yeah, I think that's just more, hey, I'm over land. I think you need to call Tim.
Yeah, it's not really my jurisdiction, but I can connect you.
Yeah, I mean, I can forward you over to him, but I don't really control any of that at all. And the book was actually called Silence in the Deep. Is that right?
No. I think it was just called Jaws. It might have been Silence in the Deep. I don't remember.
Sorry. No, the original title of the book that he wanted was Silence in the Deep, and then he turned it to Jaws. Sorry.
Okay.
I misread that. We need Jeff on here. The fun facts are maybe be miscued. Don't even listen to any of the fun facts I say. They might not even be correct because Jeff's not on here.
Yeah, or you should comment below and tell us how incorrect they are. So
who's your favorite character?
Like, this is still... Who's my favorite character? What?
In this?
It's the... Man, I don't know. It's hard because the marine biologist guy, I really like him, but also the old fisherman. Like, how do you not love him?
I know. He's just such a badass because it's a perfect thing, and this is why this movie's so great. It came out in the 70s, but it still relates today. You'd have two people. One went to school, knows everything. The other guy has just basically real life experience. Who do you trust more? because there's book knowledge which definitely comes in, but real life experience you need to as well. So it's definitely a yin and yang that they have going on here, which definitely constructs a great storytelling.
Yes, it does. I'm struggling here with the time frame because
So these
it's
kids
like
get attacked by
cold.
sharks. They're investigating right now. Is how it happens.
Yeah, that's what's going on right now. But like it's kind of cold there, but why are they swimming? And this is like classic Spielberg, right? Have some sort of creepy crawly thing crawling all over whatever it is, right? Like he's got snakes and he's got spiders, and then now he's got crabs. I think he's done scorpions before.
So I think I can take this from you. Being from the north, once it turns 65 degrees, you feel like swimming because you've just been dealing with fucking snow your whole, like the last 4 months, that you're just like, fuck, just give me something that is resilient to heat. I don't even care if it's hot. I don't care if I get a tan. I just want to go out and swim. So that's not too historically inaccurate. I know we nitpick on this podcast when we're hammered and shit, and we just nitpick directors, but I think that's historically accurate. I do. God, this is how they used to come up with K-Styles banner. Shark attack on a fucking typewriter. Like, what's a skank attack? I meant shark attack. Sorry, it was a misprint.
Yeah, they don't have spell check
Two
on
letters.
typewriters. Was that his like deputy guy or whatever? Was he just like hung over his shit?
It was his day off. He ordered a hooker, and then they called him in. He's like, "Well, you're gonna have to pay me for the day and also the hooker."
Yeah.
It's like, "Yeah, that's fine.
obviously.
You get a shark attack. All right, whatever."
And if you could buy me a pizza too, that'd be great. Got Colonel Sanders there.
This might go over a lot of our listeners' heads, but 20% of them, I think that's a members-only jacket that he has on. And the only reason I know about that is because I watched I Love the 80s on VH1, and 2, my dad had one. And whenever we were cleaning out his closet, he's like, "That was a members-only jacket. That's how I got ass." I'm like, oh, okay.
So what's he getting? Paint? Oh, to make signs. I got you. And that hat, Jesus. I could rock
This is
that
such a
hat.
great fucking movie, man. And dude, look at that. Like, is that a sheriff's truck Jeep without the top on?
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, on the roll bar there.
Fuck yeah.
It's always cool when like you know you've made it or you live in somewhere that's really safe. Either or when the cops drive cars that don't have like a cage in the back. That's how you know you've made it in a town.
Look at the I think he's the mayor with the suit with the anchors on it. That's fucking awesome too. I'll tell you, man, I've been on a lot of vacations, but beach towns are fucking great. Like, just the decor, the colors,
The
and everything
culture.
is fucking awesome. Yes. It's laid back, it's chill, it's a lot of fun, just ocean style. You eat, like, fish that was caught that day, not 8 weeks ago. It's fucking great.
Geiger, you got a
I'll
timestamp?
just say, though, Banner, so you're from California. I hate when people are like, well, it's too cold to swim. Like, I visited California. It's always like 75. So the ocean is never really that refreshing. And now if you go to Florida where it's 105 and the ocean feels like 82, that feels different. But if you're in Martha's Vineyard, which they say they're in right now, I can understand where people are like, okay, we're just going to go in the ocean because it's like 55 degrees. Fuck it.
His anchor jacket is great. Like,
It's fucking awesome.
yeah.
But his pants aren't anchor jacket, which is Even
Yeah,
more cool.
he only half-assed it. You know what I mean? He should have had like anchors on his tie too.
He takes people off the side. He's like, listen, you think this is a matching? It's not. I actually bought this jacket 8 years ago, and it took me 7.5 more years to find pants that matched. Why are you telling me this? I don't know. You just seem like someone that would want to know. Well, I'm just worried about the shark that. No, I am too. I just want you to know about my jacket.
Yeah, the jacket is. I mean, sharks are important, but this jacket. Look at Big Bertha here.
Want to know another fun fact? My wife hasn't fucked me or sucked my dick once while I wore this jacket. And, you know, so how's your life going to go well?
Matt, do you have a timestamp?
This is so 70s. Look at their bathing. It's so 70s. Oh my god, this is awesome.
He's just like hanging out at the beach, right? So is he like watching
Yeah.
for sharks?
Well, they've kept it hidden so far. So this is why he's out there, because they're keeping it under wraps. Because basically the mayor is like, hey man, summer's starting. We can't have any shark attacks.
It'll kill.
Like, rumors going on.
Because they
it's gonna
survive
kill-
on tourism.
Yeah, we have tourism around here. We have restaurants. We have I mean, this is how we make our fucking nut. And if you fuck with my nut, Brennan, that's basically what he said to him. So he's out there just basically like, okay, I'm gonna basically be off duty and take her. I don't know if he's gonna box the shark or what he's gonna do, but he's just gonna make sure nothing happens.
He's just gonna go out there and be like, round one, ding ding ding.
And I don't want to. Ronnie Cycli is not on this pod, and he's not going to come on this pod. This is not a wrestling pod where he's just going to show up out of the crowd. And I don't want to speak for him, but I think he would say that Jaws is in the right here. You're in the water. That's his territory.
It's his home.
So you can't bitch about getting a shark bite when you're in the water. This guy right here was in shape back in 75.
Yeah, no kidding. You know what? I think I'm on the side of the shark too. Like,
I am too. I mean, you're in the water.
It's his home, you know?
Well, and actually, I mean, and we can get into this deeper. And, you know, I have no proof of this, but I've heard rumors that, you know, Jaws went through a messy divorce and his wife took everything and he couldn't be in the deep of the ocean anymore. He had to go more of the bay.
Yeah.
Because his wife got full custody of the baby sharks. So that's the only place he could go.
Yeah,
And
I
he was
heard he
hungry.
couldn't come within 300 feet of the drop-off.
That's what I heard too. I mean, I don't have the legal documents in front of me. You'll have to talk to Ronnie Cycli about that. He knows all about that case, but
He was actually representing the Mrs. Jaws, right?
yes, he
Yeah.
was, because because he's always on the case of the winner. But was Jaws domestically abusive? I mean, that could be debatable. I don't know. I mean, I wasn't 800 feet below in the ocean to see if he hit, you know, Mrs. Jaws or not. So I can't speak on that.
I wasn't
But-
there.
I wasn't there. You know, even if I was at Margaritaville, I don't even know if I could speak on that. But he did get kicked out of his family. His wife got the kids, and he was by the bay, and this is where this movie kind of takes place. I would like a prequel Jaws movie, kind of like a Joker anthology movie, like we got with Joaquin Phoenix, where it just showed him why he started eating people.
I could
Because
definitely
we
get
might side
behind
with
that.
them afterwards.
I could definitely get behind that.
Call Todd Phillips, see if he'll direct it.
Yeah, right. So they're all freaking out.
This
'cause
is,
this chick got eaten. This is mass hysteria.
So we'll talk about iconic scenes. There's not a lot of movies from the 70s that are still played today on the reg. This is one of them. That iconic scene where the Spielberg goes close up to his face that you just saw, and then he goes in the ocean is one of the most iconic scenes. We'll get to You Need a Bigger Boat and all that other shit later, but that is a huge iconic scene in cinema still today.
Geiger, did you listen back to our Broback for our best scenes?
No, we done that. What was that? 3 years ago? That was like 2 or 3 years ago.
It was a long time ago. I just didn't know if you went back and re-listened.
I know what my best scene was, and I will not tell you, but I will bring it up when it's on the movie because I remember it.
I'm pretty sure we had the same best scene.
Okay, because I remember my best scene, and I will bring it up.
All right, I'm excited.
Whenever it's on.
So now the cat's out of the bag. Everybody's worried that the tourism season's going to get shut down because of this shark.
You know what's fucked up is like Henrik and some of our big fans are listening to this right now, and I never remember my best scene from honestly any. I couldn't even tell you my best scene from the fucking Dark Knight right now, which is my favorite movie ever. But I remember my best scene from this movie, and there's a reason why, and I'll bring it up later.
Okay. I pretty sure I remember what mine was, but it may have been the same. So why don't we do this anymore? Why don't we all just like get together in a classroom and talk about what's going on in the community?
I got a bigger question. Why don't we dress like this anymore? 70s fashion was fucking awesome.
Yeah. That denim on denim back there?
I love this fashion. I love the tie that ends at your nipples. This is as far as this thing's going to go down. It doesn't go down even farther.
Those glasses. Honestly, what I like about the 70s was the hairstyles.
What I like about the 70s is we're worried about a shark in the ocean, not about a wall that we had to build between us and Mexico.
Yeah.
How far we've come.
Yeah. Those are kids' problem.
Like nowadays, we're just like, so should we have a military veteran at our schools because someone might go in there with a machine? Like we've come so far with our problems. Wouldn't someone just stand up there? It's like, why don't we just tan on the bay and just not go in the water? In the 70s, that would be ludicrous. Nowadays, like, okay, case closed. That's awesome. So what are we going to do about taxes?
So I've got 24 hours to catch the shark.
So this is where we need. I know they've done a Jaws 2 and a Jaws 3 before.
This is like baller move. Just scratch.
What I'm saying is though,
fingers on the chalkboard. And start telling your story. Nice.
God, this is what we call an entrance right here.
Like character development, you don't even need to develop him because he does it himself.
Banner, would this be you?
Maybe.
I don't know if this would be you.
I don't know. I feel like I'm more the marine biologist guy.
Yeah, you're a cross between a lot of these characters.
Yeah. I just embody the entire movie.
This character was definitely a staple in the 70s. A Clint Eastwood, hey man, I didn't go to college, I didn't read a book or anything, but I grew up fishing sharks. I know more than anyone that could read a book, and I will fucking help you catch this if you trust me. But you're like, but you're crazy, and I don't trust you because you're a wild card. It's fucking great. And he looks the part too. He looks like he'd be a bassist for the Eagles or something.
Right? Quint, I think he's underrated. I think when everybody watches this movie and talks about this movie, they don't talk about Quint. They talk
about Donald Dreyfuss.
Richard Dreyfuss.
Oh, sorry, Richard Dreyfuss, and which is respect. I mean, he's a great actor.
Of course.
And which sucks is like, oh, Geiger, name his movies. I'm like, I will say, what about Bob? And then I will just put my beer down and walk out of the room. I don't know any other movies he's in after that. I could look him up and probably just be like, oh yeah, he was in that. But Quint is the character that leads this movie because a lot of people will resonate with them. The blue collar working people that are like, yes, You don't have to fucking go to college and learn all this fucking bullshit from books. Sometimes you need real life experience to know what the fuck you're doing. Quint resonated with him, and he still does today. That's what's great about this movie, Banner, is all of these characters, not just one, all of them resonate with people today.
100%. See, and I think even in the book, so I'll blow my load here on this. So in the book, their relationship, Brody and his wife, they're not good. Like, they're fighting, they're not sleeping together, like, not good. So
Yeah, they're like our marriages, okay?
Yeah, so that's the difference in the movie to the book. I don't remember where I was going with any of this.
Well, in the movie, I don't think they have time to tell that story.
No,
Because
and how extremely graphic there is a part in it. There's no way they could show that.
he lives around the ocean.
Yeah, it's a nice house. What do you think he dropped on that? 1.6 mil?
In the 70s?
No. In the 70s, that's probably like $300,000.
Yeah, probably, yeah. But yeah, today, yeah, in Maine, sure. If it's in Florida or California, it'd be way more. But
Way
in
more.
Maine, sure.
Yeah.
His wife's decent looking though. Good for
Yeah.
her.
Yep. Richard Dreyfuss thought so too.
In the book or in real life?
In the book.
So in the book, Richard Dreyfuss' character bangs her.
Oh, it is like a fucking porno. It's described.
Wow.
Yeah. Like describing hitting it from behind and going in different holes. It's aggressive.
Banner, I don't say this lightly, and I never give you the respect you probably deserve, but in 3.5 years of this podcast, you fucking quote books all the time, and I think it's stupid. This is the only time it's actually came to fruition that I'm actually interested, but it's basically because people are having sex. I don't know how you want to take that.
Yeah,
I
it's
just want
like,
to tell you.
well, it's super awkward because it's like they're starting to work together, and it's right before they go on this boat trip together in the book. It's really funny. At least it's funny to me.
I mean, everything's legal out on the open sea. You know what I mean?
So there's a little foreshadowing right there. You had the shark with the scuba tank in his mouth.
Yeah, and the Jaws robot, which is what they use a robot, is still
Yep.
at the Universal Studios in Orlando.
It is. Is it in Orlando or is it in Hollywood?
Hollywood, sorry.
Okay.
California.
Yeah. And this was all filmed. There's like a giant pool that's like the size of a football field, and all the water scenes were filmed there.
Now, I've looked up two places, and this was actually filmed in Martha's Vineyard, like all the land things. So that I'm happy about that, because if you check out our little Giants movie commentary, there's like, this is in Ohio. I'm like, why is it 85 degrees? You have mountains. You're in Southern California. This was actually filmed in Martha's Vineyard, which I love. That's all. But
you got really mad.
It's a Spielberg film, so he's pretty true to his craft.
You got super mad when we were watching Halloween because you're like, this was filmed in Pasadena, but they're supposed to be in like Iowa.
It says like some shithole town in Illinois in October. I'm like, dude, it would not be 85 degrees with mountains in the background and a sea. It makes no sense. And it was a film in California. This is actually filmed in Martha's Vineyard, which I respect. That's awesome.
So
the
this
water's
is something
cold.
else. Yeah, the water's cold. I think I established that 20 minutes ago.
Even though you're in the technically Atlantic Ocean, if you're up that far north, especially around Memorial Day, so right around May, the water is going to be cold.
That's another thing that this movie does so well, is why it was considered a horror movie then, but is building suspense. Like right there, we still haven't seen the shark, but this is a big bad dude.
This is what's great is the villain is Jaws, the shark, and they don't show it until like right before the third act.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. Fucking great. You're just building anticipation. The audience like, what does he look like? What does he look like? Is it this? Is it this? And then you finally fucking see it. So the audience is building anticipation on what they think it should look like. You're not showing the first scene. It's fucking brilliant.
There he is, Richard Dreyfuss.
Jesus Christ. He's so young.
He is so young. I didn't realize how
Like,
short
so
he was.
young. I mean, but you got to think, what about Bob? I think was 94, so this was literally 20 years before that. 20. I mean, whatever age you are, like we're in our low 30s. I don't care what you are. Like, subtract 20 years and think what you look like. I mean, I was a kid, like I was a kid,
yeah.
Banner. I was a kid. It's fucking nuts. This movie, so I hate that it gets. So we're doing this for Shark Week, guys. Happy Shark Week. But I hate that this movie gets tagged in with not only the other Jaws movies, but I hate that it gets tagged in with Sharknado and stuff, because this movie actually has a lot of layers, a lot of character development, a lot of people that you could have a group of 40 people and everyone can connect with some character in the movie, and that's what makes a great movie. And other action movies do not have this. They do not have the story this movie has. They do not have the character development this movie has. And that's why this movie is a fucking classic and is still played today, 35, 40 years after it's fucking made. I just don't think this should be going into basically the category of movies like, oh yeah, it's kind of just a fun, horror, scary, stupid action film, because it's not. It's a very well done movie. It's a classic. It's a Spielberg classic.
Here's the thing about this movie that's different from any other shark attack movie I've ever seen. And I've probably seen them all. This is the only one that's like, if you told me this is based on a true story, I would believe you. Deep Blue Sea, they make the sharks smarter. Sharknado, don't even get me started. Sharknado 2, don't get me started.
Don't even get you started.
Sharknado 3, all right, that one wasn't that bad. Sharknado 4, Sharknado 12, they're awful. This one, you can watch this movie and go, yeah, this was totally a real thing.
Banner, I'm sorry, but you about a minute ago, I don't know if you saw Quint, but he was just riding on the fucking boat. That's literally every Tuesday for him.
Yeah.
He's just like, I gotta find this big shark and kill it, and then hopefully be back to Jim's buoy and crab shop at 5 o'clock for happy hour. Hopefully.
I love how he's about to get sick looking at the dead body. That's good stuff.
Like I said, man, layers to every character. Like, sometimes action movies, and we love our stupid action movies, don't get me wrong, and sometimes you could put that in, you could put this movie in that category. You could say it's an action movie, but all the characters are so well done, so well acted, so well layered on all the characters. It's not the same as movies today at all.
No. This is, I think I would consider it maybe a thriller.
I would think that would be a good term for it. Yeah, a thriller. It's kind of like I would consider it. Man, this is going to be a deep discussion, but it's like Get Out. There's a lot of characters. There's a lot of layers.
I'm not on board yet, but okay.
There's a lot of characters. There's a lot of layers. It's not scary, but it makes you think about a lot of things, and then you can relate to someone can relate to each character in the movie.
That's
And
not.
then the
It's
villain
not
at
a
the
very
end,
big shark.
but the villain at the end is something that you didn't see for the whole fucking movie. So it's kind of a surprise.
It's actually a pretty small shark in relation to other sharks.
So Banner, if you cut our bro back, this is where we start talking. So the townspeople start taking it amongst themselves to hug their wives,
Kiss the
maybe
babies.
maybe put their, maybe poke them a little bit, have sex, and then kiss them on the forehead like, baby, don't worry, look at this dad bod. I'm gonna take my boy that you're friends with, that you play volleyball with down the street, and we're gonna go out on a fucking boat and we're gonna catch this motherfucker so no one else will get harmed. But actually, that would just be me and you, Banner, just kissing our wives and be like, hey, we're going to go on a boat, drink beer, listen to the Eagles for a while on our stereo, maybe eat some fish, and then once we come back, like, did you get the shark? Like, what do
What
you
shark?
mean? Like, oh yeah, the shark. Yeah,
Yeah.
we didn't find it.
Yeah. We ran out of
So
supplies. We're gonna get some more bait and
yeah,
head right back out.
but we'll go back next weekend because I want my baby to I want you to sleep well, and I want our kid to sleep well. So we're gonna go back. But basically, it would just be me and you, Banner, on a boat, just drinking and just fucking listening to music and getting hammered and eating Philly cheesesteaks.
Oh god, a Philly cheesesteak sounds so good.
It does.
So this is when Richard Dreyfuss is basically saying, "Nope, great job, but you still suck." The mayor's suit game is on point.
It is. I love this part too, where the townspeople's like, "This is the shark." Like, no, it's not, because
No.
the teeth pattern doesn't fit it. It's not as big. You like, good job catching a shark. Put it on the grill, have fun, but this isn't the shark. Banner, if we live in this town, don't you think, like, say it's Memorial Weekend, you live in fucking Martha's Vineyard, and it's been snowy and shitty, wouldn't you just say, dude, I'm going to the beach this weekend, I'm going to get drunk, and I'm going to listen to my Bose speaker, which isn't a thing for the next 25 years, but wouldn't you just say, like, I'm not going to be that guy that gets bitten by a shark? Like, I would say that. I was like, there's no way in this whole ocean I'm going to be that guy that gets bitten by a shark.
And you would still go in the water.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I would.
I would.
Okay.
I ain't
I'm not
scared
gonna
of
be
no
that
shark.
guy.
The shark don't know me.
That's the thing, man. If you're that guy, it's just not your time. I mean, it's a full ocean. I mean, we're not talking about a bay. We're talking about a landline of oceanfront property. There's no way you're going to be that person. No fucking way. Just go out and have fun. Whoa.
This is
That's
heavy.
intense.
See, and they're building his motivation right now.
See, this is another thing we don't get in movies today, where, like, you can say Jaws is like a stupid shark movie, and there's a lot of stupid shark movies, but this has a lot of fucking storyline built in it, man. Like, a lot. Like, you can feel like, my kid just died. Fuck you. Why are you letting people in the ocean? Why aren't you finding this people? This is not the shark. Fuck. We have the same nose. Why don't you?
We wear
you
the
listen
same
to me?
glasses.
Yeah. If we went to the same church, we'd basically be the same person.
This is bad
The guy-
acting, though, right?
Yeah, it's not the greatest.
Okay.
And then the
Just
guy
her.
back there from League of Their Own is just standing there.
Yeah, right. So, Geiger, you see the two dicks that shark has hanging out there?
Yeah.
Yeah, the sharks have two dicks. The way he shoots this, where
But
you're kind of slowly getting like tidbits of blood, and like you're looking with the shark just outside of the view. Just
when people left though, Banner, wouldn't me and you just be like, so you want to fry this son bitch or grill it? Either
right.
way,
Yeah,
we need.
I'm good with it.
I mean, we got tortillas and fucking we got guacamole and shit. We can make some fish tacos real quick.
You
Just
real
let me
quick,
know
just
how
whip
you
them
want your
up.
fish. I mean, I got my boy fucking running the store from Pico de Gallo, and
Yeah,
we just need to fry it up really quick.
yeah. Oh, I need to call him. He needs to get cilantro as well. You know, as a garnish.
Just a little bit, yeah, a little bit of a kick.
It's a little on the top.
So this is the wife that you talked in the book. She just gets ramrodded like the whole
Yeah,
time.
yeah. Not the
I'm
whole
never
time.
gonna watch this movie the same again.
No, not the whole time. So it's little bit after this, because here in a few minutes is when they decide to go with Quint to go catch him. It's like right before that, she has dinner with him, or not dinner, like lunch. It's not even like at night. It's like at
So
like 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
they have kids though. I mean, that's one of
Yeah.
them.
Here's the thing: the movie gets, and I apologize if this is too graphic for people, but it's in the fucking book.
It's
It's
a
talking
book.
about
It's not your fault.
it's talking about how he climaxes inside of her, and she wraps her legs around him and doesn't let him go. Like it's pretty graphic.
I know exactly what you mean. If you talked about a woman climaxing, I'd have a lot of questions because I'm not sure what that means, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
So after I read the book, I thought they were kind of setting it up here, but they weren't.
Got Ted DiBiase, half, without the bread coming in.
He hasn't even touched his dinner.
They okay, so they do. So if in the book, if you so in the 70s, I don't know if people actually went to the theater and then left and was like, it's not like the fucking book, it's not as good. I don't know if that fucking happened. It happens today. I don't know if it happened back then because I wasn't fucking alive. But if that did happen, then in the movies right now, people would be bitching. It's like, well, Quint should be like fucking her right now, according to the book.
That's Hopper, not Quint. Quint's the old guy.
Oh, sorry. You're right. Sorry. But when Hopper comes in, when Quint comes in, he should be like fucking her right now.
It's not Quint. It's Hopper.
I know, but when the scene with Quint and them comes in, like, do you think when people that read the book would be like, this isn't true to the book? Do you think that happened back in the 70s?
Yeah, I bet it did. If here's the thing, I think now people know that movies are based off of books a lot of the time, and it's kind
Yeah.
of more. It's easier to find out. Oh, that was a book. You just put it in the old Googles and you find out. I don't know if back then they had the like. They didn't have the accessibility to do that. That is a large glass of wine.
Well, his wife looks like a 2-cent whore. I mean, a black turtleneck. I mean, come on.
It's May.
Like, try less.
So he's a drunk sheriff.
Wow, Banner. I mean, excuse him. He likes to indulge in some alcoholic beverages. Honestly, who are we to judge on the Broforce Squad? We're drunk on every fucking single commentary or anything we do on
Yeah,
YouTube. So
I'm not sober by any means right now. I've actually been holding in a pee for the last 30 minutes because I don't want to leave you hanging.
go ahead.
I know you can hold it down, but
Fuck was that? Like demons? Oh, that was your dogs. Ever since Banner has said about the book And I don't know if it's because I'm drunk or because I like sex, but there's a lot of sexual tension in this scene. Even though none of the people in said scene has had sex. Because it's Quint. Also, please, we have done a lot of stuff for sharks. We love fucking sharks on this podcast. We love boobs. We love sharks. We love beer. We love weed. We divvy in cocaine. We don't love it. We appreciate it. But comment below what you think the Broforce Squad should do for the next shark movie. We have done the Meg movie commentary. I wasn't part of that, but we've done it. We've done Deep Blue Sea. We have done, we're doing Jaws right now. I don't know if we could do Sharknado, but if that's something you guys want to see, fucking comment below, man. Just let us know any type of shark movie you want us to do. Or any type of movie you want us to do that you think would be funny. I love the whole premise. 80s movies were so simple. And I know this was 75. Just fucking round up. I'm a millennial, but they were so simple. Just the whole story was just so simple. The shark is attacking the bay. We want to open the bay for Memorial Weekend because we live in fucking up northeast and it sucks for like 8 months out of the year because it snows. So we got to make money. All the townspeople got to make money. So get this fucking shark out of here. Let's find out how to do it, then go. Just like Footloose. It's a shitty town. The kid moves in from the city. He takes over. He dances, and then he fucks a preacher's daughter. I love how simplistic these movies are. This is the story. This is how we're gonna do it, and they do character development the whole time.
Oh shit! Hold on. This came unplugged. Now I can hear you.
So I was holding it down the whole time.
I knew you would.
How was your piss?
It was good. The dogs got in a fight also, so I had to make sure they were good.
So this might solve a discussion on the pod. When you hold it that long, does it feel as good as sex? Because I think it does sometimes.
It definitely rivals it.
If I hold a piss for like, if I'm on a road trip or I'm at a concert where it's just, not close or fair, like it feels as good. It really does.
Yeah. So now they're just getting hammered looking for sharks.
There's no way we'd do this.
No.
If me, you, and Jeff, there's no way we'd drink if we were looking for sharks. No fucking way.
It's all business. We might bring one beer to celebrate after we caught the shark.
And we'd split it 4 ways between me, you, Jeff, and Cycly. And, and Cycly would probably be like, no, thank you. I don't indulge in drinking.
No.
Me and my wife honor Jesus Christ, and we don't believe in alcohol.
We only drink his blood on Sundays.
Yeah. And Jeff would be like, I'm on keto. And then me and you take a sip and throw it overboard. It's basically what would happen.
You got to pour one out for the homies.
At sea. Yeah. That's how it goes.
That's what you do.
That's exactly how it would go.
Yeah.
I don't condone drinking at all.
Here's the thing. This is actually a pretty badass boat. We would have some fun with this thing.
So it's night on the sea. So have you ever been, I don't care if it's lake, ocean, what, have you ever been on water at night?
Yeah, it's fucking scary.
It is, but it's also peaceful and also fun and also kind of adventurous. It's everything.
I think adventurous is a really good word for it.
It is, because 70% of our land that we live on is sea, and we don't know anything. We know more about Mars than we do about our own fucking ocean, which is really sad, but just really cool at the same time. So being on water, me and my wife have taken, we've been to, Padre. We've been to Florida. We've been to San Diego. Like, we've been out on the sea at night, and it was so fucking cool. Like, it's so awesome to see the sea at night. It's so peaceful. You just hear the waves. But if the Broforce squad had their own boat, God forbid, please don't subscribe to us. Please don't listen to us, because the more you do, the more we're going to buy our own boat and do this, and it's going to be a fucking catastrophe.
Yeah, here's the thing. Do you think we're 100 yards from shore before we sink it? Or do you think we can make it further than that?
No, we'll go way out.
You think we can make it that far
we'll
before
sink it? It's what we do on the boat.
I think that's one and the same. This is a great scene right here too.
Absolutely, yeah.
He's just like, all right, yeah, let's go. Let's do it.
Which is another Broforce squad staple. All great scenes happen at the dead of night, where don't you think one guy would just kind of nudge the other guy and be like, why don't we wait to do this at 3 o'clock in the afternoon tomorrow?
See, I would totally do this. Just dive in the water, like free diving like this, trying to find a shark. I'd do this. That'd be fun.
Means you'd be hammered.
Well, yeah. It's the only way to do it. Richard Dreyfuss is hammered right now.
We basically who's the drunkest person here? Is like me. He's like, okay, well, put the scuba gear on and go find a shark. He's like, okay, yeah, sounds good. But I just want to let you know, I want my burger well done, because we're grilling. Like, yeah, it'll be ready for you when you get up.
But not burnt, just well done.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want it. I don't want it pink as fuck, and I don't want it burnt to a crisp. You know what I mean?
This is good right here too. That sucks. That's probably like a $50 knife that he just dropped.
This movie for Spielberg, man, and as we said, this movie is supposed to come out in December. Spielberg said no, wanted to come out in summer, which Aquaman should have done, because if you think about water and shit, you think about the summer. And this movie made the term blockbuster. Just let that sink in. Every movie is like, is this going to be a blockbuster? Is this going to be a blockbuster of summer? Is this going to be the blockbuster of Christmas? This movie made it, and the term blockbuster came from people lined up around the fucking block to come and see this movie in the summer. That's where the term came from.
I wonder how much money this movie made. I'm going to look that up. Like what the box office on it was.
But Banner, you got to think, like, it probably made a great amount of money, but this is the Elvis Presley of fucking movies. It invented rock and roll. It invented Blockbuster. That's fucking insane. And we're drunk talking about it.
Where on Spielberg's movies do you put this?
Oh, God. I'd have to put it number one, and this is the reason why. Because I'll compare it to the Beatles. You'll say, well, Abbey Road was better than, Let Me Do It, whatever their first album was. I'm like, yeah, but without their first album, Abbey Road wouldn't have happened. Without this was Spielberg. This was Spielberg's basically like his golden pass. Like, okay, do whatever the fuck you want to do now, because you're fucking crowned. You're movie royalty. He created Blockbuster. What does every movie want to do? They want to do two things. They either want to win an Oscar and be artistic, or they want to be a blockbuster. He created the word blockbuster with this movie. I mean, how do you get bigger than that, Brian? How do you get bigger than that?
I think this is his fourth best movie.
Well, you're going to pick Jurassic Park, obviously.
I think E.T. is a better movie than this.
But you can't, without this movie, that wouldn't happen. That's what my Beatles comparison comes into play here. Without this, the other stuff wouldn't have happened.
Possibly, because this was his.
This gave him creative control to do and take chances on other movies, I believe.
Maybe.
And this directorially, and I'm gonna fight you on this because okay, you'll bring up E.T. and I'll even fucking throw in Jurassic Park. This score is better than E.T. or Jurassic Park. This
It's not better than Jurassic Park.
This score,
It's
this score
it's
is
iconic.
better than Star Wars. This score is made more famous than any score in the world. This score is.
You know who did the score for this?
It's one of the two guys that always does a score.
It's
but
my
tell
boy,
me.
John Williams.
Yes, John Williams. But this is the most famous score of any movie ever. Can we agree? Even more than Darth Vader's March. I
No.
think this score is.
I don't
famous,
think the score is. I think that one stanza, is that what it's called in music, is more famous than anything else. I don't think it's a more famous score. I think Star Wars, I think Indiana Jones is a good comparison. A lot of people know it, but they don't know all of it.
I think if you round up 1,000 people, that they'll notice this score even before the Darth Vader March.
I think they would know Dana, 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 Dana. They'll know that. They won't know the rest of it unless they're me.
Banner, this score, this is what made scores. This movie. That's what you can't say that someone's a better artist than Elvis or John Lennon because that artist took from Elvis and John Lennon and it evolved. This started it all. This was the first blockbuster and it was the greatest score ever made, and then they evolved from that. I mean, you got to salute the classics.
This is not the greatest score ever made.
I don't know, dude.
Ever?
I don't know about
okay,
that.
to date?
Ever?
Like when
yes.
this came out, I'll give it to you. No, not even currently. I think Star Wars is better. I think Indiana Jones is better. I think Harry Potter is better. Hell, I think fucking Superman is better.
But don't you think that they took from this movie and
No,
I don't. You can't fault a movie for being made in the 70s. That's just when they made it. I'm just saying that they're like, don't you think every time they went into a production meeting, they're like, how can we do what Jaws did? How can we be played over minor league baseball games? How can we be played over this and that people know our score? I mean, this was the first. Can you agree that this was the first score ever that people actually, whenever they heard it, they knew where the movie came from?
You might be right on that one. Because this is what, 75?
This is where I love our podcast, that I'm going to bat for Jaws, and you're like, no, actually, this So I agree with what you're saying. I agree that some scores might be better. I'm just saying that you have to tie in the nostalgia, and that 20 years earlier they didn't have the technology that they did in the 80s and blah, 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 blah. I'm just saying that you got to salute the people that came first, that this score was the first fucking score that people are like, God damn, like whenever that music came on, I did not want to get in a pool, and I felt something and I knew where that came from. And then Star Wars came, then Indiana Jones came, and then everything else came.
I still don't think overall the score is that great in this movie. I think it has one really good piece, maybe even the best piece, but overall, no, this is not. No. I think Psycho.
Also, the
is
mayor just
probably-
came up to that guy. He's like, "Hey, I banged your wife in high school, but
Yeah, I'll
you can get in
actually
the water
fight you
now.
on
The
this.
shark's gone."
Hitchcock movies. Those were 15 years before this movie, and those scores.
This is why I shouldn't have brought up score, because
Are
we're going to be talking
iconic.
about this for. We're going to talk about this for months.
No, am I wrong?
No, you're right. No, you are.
That's right, I'm right. Challenge me on scores. Fuck you up.
This is how we don't know. Like, you're my boy. I love you. And we don't know each other at all, because I was trying to give you a softball on the score. 35 minutes later, I'm fighting you on the score I was trying to give you a softball on. I'm like, where am I right now? I don't even know where I am.
So, I just, never mind.
Well, this is him telling us like, "Hey, listen, kiddo, get in the water." He ruffles his hair, and also tell your mom that me and my secretary we're just friends. There's nothing going on.
And ask her, is she hanging out with that marine biologist guy? Because I feel like they've been hanging out a little bit more than they should. Just see what's going on there, kid.
Banner, I give you a lot of shit for the books, rightfully so. But ever since you said that, I'm very intrigued to read this book now because his wife, just hugged him, or sorry, not hugged him, but waved at him, and she seems like a cute, nice girl, and I really want to read the book now because it seems like their relationship is not what it seems at all. But
It's
the
not what
movie's
it
just like
seems.
we don't have time for this, and it really just doesn't fit, so we're just gonna do something else.
Yeah. The it's worth the read. I enjoyed it. I always think it's fun whenever you read the book and then you would go and watch the movie and you go, "Oh, well that's different," and kind of pick and choose which ones you like better versus what you don't like better. You know what I mean?
So for our older viewers, which we love you, and I know we have older viewers because our highest fucking commentaries are from the 80s, and I know you don't comment, but I know you're listening, and we really appreciate you. I will say one thing. Back in 75, the underwater directing shot was fucking revolutionary.
Yeah.
Was like the score done it, but they're underwater. Basically, you have the shark view going under the feet. That was something that was not done in theaters at all. And Banner, you gotta admit, I don't care if you're fucking in the high school in the 70s or you graduated with us in the fucking mid 2000s. I would love to go to a fucking movie in June and see this type of directing in a shark movie with ocean and fucking score and the story and everything. This is just a fun movie to go see.
The problem today is that computer generated stuff and
Yes.
CGI is just it's too easy. People don't film movies like this anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like now the cameras are so jumpy and they cut from here to there, whereas these each like piece of a scene is a solid 2 to 3 seconds long. You know what I mean? Where that's one of my biggest complaints about Batman Begins is that fight scene when he's fighting at the prison. You
Yeah.
can't actually see it because they switch camera
It's-
views
Yeah,
every
it's
half
jump
a
scene.
second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's jump scene. It's just there's 8 cameras and they're like jump to that one, jump to that one. Yeah. I understand what you're saying. This is just more. It's raw. It's gritty. And man, it's such a great movie. This is such a great movie. And Banner, there's a lot of movies you recommend that honestly I just kind of laugh at you and I'm just like, yeah, I'll watch it. And I never fucking see. But this is a movie I fucking watched. Literally at work, I watched it in my car because I'm in outside sales and it was like a 70-degree day and I was watching my car and I couldn't put it down. I'm just like, this is a great movie. I can't believe I've never seen it.
I was shocked when you said you had never seen it. This is right up your alley.
Well, I've never seen it all the way through. I know what it is. I know what Jaws is. I've seen it on TV, but every time I saw it on TV, it was 45 minutes in, and I was just like, I'm not going to watch it. I don't know what the fuck is going on. But watching it start to finish, great fucking movie.
It's fantastic. It's a great story, beginning to end. And like you said, like we still haven't seen the shark yet. And what are we?
And
like
we
45.
and we still haven't got
minutes
to
in
my
now?
best scene yet,
No,
right?
mine either.
Yeah.
We're an hour and 2 minutes in. We are literally at the halfway mark right now. It's 2 hours and 4 minutes, and we're at an hour and 4 minutes in, and we still haven't seen the shark.
So, remind me on E.T. When did we see E.T.?
You see him really quick. You see him middle to end of first act. But we can hear you peeing. Just FYI.
Well, I'm sure every fucking person listening to us right now can relate to me having to pee.
That was the first time we see the shark. Just real quick, and he ate the guy's leg off.
In Jurassic Park, we waited a while to see the T-Rex.
Yep. Jurassic Park.
That was a scene too. I forgot about the actual eaten leg. That's a scene too. It's great.
It's the way that they can build suspense without flipping through like a billion different cameras and camera views and everything, and couple that with the score. It's incredible. Even just little things like that, like they drag his feet across the sand and they still don't. It's good stuff.
I mean, Banner, this movie could be about shark attack. It could be about skin cancer. It doesn't matter because Americans are going to go to the beach and get some sun because it's just a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. But a lot of people that I've talked to that were alive when this movie was at its peak were like, I didn't want to go in the water for a while.
There was a lot of people that said they didn't want to go in the water that I've talked to that are of that age. Uncle Banner being one. He was like, no, and he lived in Southern California.
Wow.
And he was like, I stopped going to the beach. Like we would go to the beach and do bonfires, on Friday, Saturday nights and hang out all night. And we just stopped when this movie came out for a while.
His wife's really good looking. So got her bathing suit on too. God damn it, I hate you, Banner. Now all I'm thinking about is his wife getting railroaded by Clint.
It's Hopper or Hooper.
Or Hooper. Yeah, whoever she gets fucked by.
Richard Dreyfuss.
I'm not usually a fan of someone going outside their marriage to have sex, unless, of course, I search for it on my porno tab. But I'm saying that since Banner put that up, I'm just thinking about it the whole time. It's his fault. It's not mine. I'm not a sick person at all. Absolutely not. It's his fault.
It's not my fault. It's the book's fault. It's
the book's fault. Yeah.
I was merely just describing what the book said, paraphrasing, if you will.
You went into deep detail, though, but obviously the book's fault again.
Yeah, not my fault.
If you could hear me there, I opened up another Dr. Pepper.
Yep, 23 flavors. Be unique.
Yeah, the flavor I got is a fine Pilsner Miller Lite. I don't never taste that flavor.
Yeah, I don't know
what
that one is. I wonder which flavor that is. Probably like 15, maybe 18.
So when the kid gets his leg eaten off, this story is so fucking great. If you fucking throw to me 70s, 80s movies or like these plots are stupid, like Rocky IV or something like that.
Or
yeah,
like
the plot's
Tango
stupid.
and Cash.
Well, yeah, Tango and Cash. The plot's stupid. It's a fun movie. This is not, man. This has so many layers. It's a great fucking story. You could see the characters building up and be like, we got to put a fucking stop to this. And the
Clint's
governor is
house
like,
right here, or his bait shop, or whatever this is awesome. He's got bloody hands, and he's handing him a shot of vodka.
It's so weird. It
And
looks
here's
like
the
your kitchen
bow-legged
toned
woman.
down, Banner. Because when I went into your kitchen, you had like shark mouths and everything you ever caught and killed. It was kind of weird, but
You don't do that?
I mean, the only thing I've ever caught is bluegill, so no, not really.
Oh.
I usually kind of just put them back.
He's caught a lot of sharks. I'll give him that.
The one reason I love this movie is because as a married man, sometimes I'm like, God, if I would have just, instead of taking a left turn or right turn, me and Banner could live in here, have shark heads, and every time someone comes in, we give them a shot, and we just fucking just lay down. It's like, yeah, man, we fish for sharks every day. That's why we get up in the morning. and also so we can, drink. But this is I know everything there is to know about shark fishing.
Is Quint like one of the best characters ever? Like this is
Uh,
he sleeps in a hammock. He's got shark jaws everywhere.
Han Solo, Harrison Ford Han Solo from the original 3 Star Wars.
I didn't say he was the best. I'm saying he's one of the
I'm
best.
just saying. I'm
Like
saying
he's up
that
there. He's on Han Solo's level.
absolutely. You could have a conversation of that. Absolutely, that could be an episode that the Broforce Squad does. That we could. The only thing is you could win every time. It's like, well, it's Harrison Ford. I mean, you would have to separate actor from, the
Yeah,
actual
because I would
character,
argue you have Han Solo, but you also have Indiana Jones. Same actor, but both extremely different characters.
I would say though, teaching fucking college kids and then being, kind of going exploring and stuff isn't as cool as being a space pirate or being like this fucking dude that just hunts sharks and lives on the ocean and just listens. I mean, this is way before the time, but listens to Kenny Chesney all day and Jimmy Buffett and just chill out. I mean, that sounds like the best job ever to me.
I could definitely do that.
So if you're kind of a first time listener to the podcast, welcome. Even if you're a long time listener like Hendrik, I don't know if you know this, but me and Banner love the pirate's life. We love Pirates of the Caribbean. We're all about drinking rum, living on the ocean, being by a fucking, going to a island and drinking by a fucking tree. And
Yeah, you guys need to watch us more because our plan is to buy an island.
we're going to buy an island, have a bar on it, and have a pirate ship and just basically run a fucking kitchen and restaurant out there. It's basically our dream. So this is right up our alley. I mean, anytime someone says I'm going to retire and just live by the ocean and drink my days away, I'm just like, good for you, man. Congratulations, you should do that. That is the American dream, because America is a lot of states. A lot of the states suck. You need to move to the coast and live on the ocean and just drink your life away whenever you done your job to society. That's what you need to do.
I never thought I would be doing a horror thriller movie with just me and you, Geiger.
I never thought me and you would do Jaws together until you had me watch it, and I'm like, let's do a broback on it. Then after a while, I was like, me and Banner need to do a movie commentary on this because it's fucking fantastic. And my best scene still hasn't came up because I know what it is.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure my best scene is like end of second act, beginning of third act.
I know it's coming up. I know what it is, but it's not there yet.
So in the book, she just got fucked by Richard Dreyfuss.
God, do it.
Just in Brody's bed.
Jeff is gonna hate me so much, but that has brought so much context to our commentary right now. I just hate saying it. But I had no clue that happened.
Yeah.
I was just like, finally, Banner reading books actually comes into play. Like that has a. So basically, what Spielberg is telling her right now is like, hey, hug him because you might not see him again. But in the book, it's like, hug him because she is like so confused. Like, do I love him, or do I want to fuck Richard Dreyfuss, or what is going on in my life right now?
Yeah. That's why she was running away. That's a really cool shot. Like through the shark jaws to the orca.
So if that was us and it's Brooke Banner and Lauren Geiger and they're hugging us on our way to the boat and they're crying and kissing us, like once we get on the boat, we kind of wink at each other as like, hey man, like I think we're good. Like we can stay out here for a couple months, I think.
Yeah. As long as we keep catching a shark, you brought enough charcoal for the grill, right?
Yeah. And honestly, if there's, let's not kid ourselves. There's no women listening to us, but if there is, like, if a woman is listening to us because a man is listening to us, not on his headphones, I will say this: you should be so lucky, because all we want to do is go on the boat with 3 of our boys and just drink and fucking listen to music. We're not going to cheat on you. We're not looking for other
Here's the
women.
thing.
We just want to just hang out.
And
That's
I
all we
know
wanna
your
do.
worry is, oh, you're gonna drown. I'm not leaving the boat. I'm staying on the boat. I'm not getting in the
We're not
water.
even looking for a shark.
Did
Actually,
you know
we
there's
know where the
sharks
shark
in the
is,
water?
and the shark is south, and we're fucking sailing north. I mean, we're not even going to be anywhere close. We just want to hang out. We want to listen to fucking, we want to listen to Zach Brown Band, and we want to grill out, and we just want to drink and hang out on the ocean. That's all we want to do. It's not a big deal. It's not because you're not cool. You're just, I don't care how cool a chick you are, you're not going to be as cool as my boy. It's not going to happen.
It's compressed air. You better be careful with that.
So you think that, just 2 seconds ago, you think that was a green screen? You think that was actually the ocean?
No.
Are they on the ocean now?
No, they're in Hollywood right now. So like,
That's what I thought. Yeah.
they have a giant ass screen. I've actually been there. So it's this pool that's like 100 yards, right? Like it's literally a football field, and they have different, like, if they wanted to make waves, they can do different things to make it waves, and then it's obviously slanted. So if they need to do stuff in the shallow end, they can, and they need deep water, they can do it there. And then there's a giant screen behind it, which is the sky. The screen's like, I don't know. Have you ever been to like a drive-in?
Oh yeah.
It's like 3 times the size of a drive-in screen. And they can like project different not cameras, like lights up onto it to make it look like a sunset or not or whatever.
So this is where the character development really comes in. So they built up the characters.
Yeah.
We don't talk about this very much because we usually do really stupid movies, but this movie is so complete. So they built up the characters. So we got Hooper, who is basically went to college, knows fucking everything. He's basically he's the Billy Bean of the ocean, if you will. He's got all the electronics, everything like that. And then we got Quint, who has been raised on the ocean. His father took him out. He's been shark hunting forever.
He's been on the water longer than he's been on land in his life.
Yeah. He was born on the water. He could breathe through the fucking ocean. And you have these 2 people clashing that if they basically would open up their minds and share ideas together, they'd probably be an unstoppable team. But one person's like, I'm old school, you're new school, and I want to prove you wrong. And it's so great. It's so fucking great.
And this is great too. So you got, he knew he had her, but he didn't do anything until he got himself all strapped in.
Yeah. But then you got Martin that's just like, dude, I just want to catch the shark because I feel like it's my civilian duty to do it, and I need both you guys' help, but you're just going to fight with each other the whole time. It's honestly just like our podcast.
See, the thing is that, like, we do that a lot. Okay, we've got a team. Like, we watch a movie that has a team on it. Who's who? I don't know who I would be. Jeff's definitely
kind of
Brody,
you're
right?
You're kind of Hopper and Quint. Well, there's no guy on the boat doing English accents that comes up with a bunch of stupid ideas. So there's no Jeff, and there's nobody that looks like he's Lebanese that is a lawyer. So there's only me and you on the boat. I don't know. Banner, you let me hang for a while there.
Sorry. This is just... I get... You know how I get. I just start actually watching the movie.
Well, I thought you were going to make fun of Jeff with me, and you just kind of let me hang like you're... And now Jeff's like, well, Banner didn't make fun of me, so you must be the prick. So
No,
Okay, that's
Jeff is like Brody's wife. He's still on land. He didn't even get in the boat
He's get he's getting plowed on land right now.
by Richard Dreyfuss.
That's exactly what Jeff would be doing.
That's good stuff.
Oh, my eggs are done. That has nothing to do with the pod. Uh, do you think do you think Spielberg's like, hey, you all are hired, but get the fuck out of here, grow sideburns for 18 weeks, and come back because everyone has the greatest sideburns I've ever seen.
That's like
Wait,
you got those chops.
you know I'm gonna ring the bell here in a second, man, because this is one of the most iconic fucking movie scenes in history coming up. See, Banner, this would be us on Instagram, or I was like, did you catch the shark? I'm like, no, we just caught dinner.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean?
I'd be like, no, we dropped our beer overboard. We just had to catch it.
Cut a bluegill. Gotta cut it in halves. It's an appetizer.
You know it's a big shark if it cut. He's using piano wire, and it cut through it.
Dude, bro, I want to go deep sea fishing with you. I want to go out there and fucking. I think it'd be really fun if me and you were just stroking shit, just trying to catch something that's like weighs 8 pounds more than us. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. I've actually never been deep sea fishing before, and I would think it would be a blast.
I mean, we just go to Florida and pay for it. It'd be fine.
Yeah.
Here's also trying to be part of the but more character development.
So this is when you start to get the character conflict. You've got, obviously, we've got the sheriff and the shark is a big one, but now you're starting to get Richard Dreyfuss and Quint just going at it. That difference in personalities of educated person and somebody that has lived it.
It is true, though. You got somebody that, and I fully believe that both of them can catch a shark. Just like they say, there's more than one way to skin a cat. But if you both kind of put your ideas together and kind of work as a team, then I think that they would be better off.
No.
No, that was my best Jeff. Let's just all get along. Why do you even let him on the pod? The only reason we have him on the pod is because he can do voices, I think.
Yeah, that's about it. He does a pretty good Anthony Hopkins.
I'm Michael Caine, and I was part of Jaws 3.
I believe it was actually Jaws 4.
Never saw it, but I saw the house that it made me mum.
So
something like that.
That's something we haven't talked about. So Jaws, there's like 4 or 5 of them. There it is. There's the.
If you want to call McConaughey, maybe I can do it, but right now I can't. Boom. Wait. Oh shit, dude. God, that was. So this is the first time.
We're gonna need a bigger boat. What? That's
first time.
The most.
One of the
iconic
greatest lines in movie history. I don't even want to bring up the score to you anymore, Banner, because I think you're really underplaying this movie from your boy Spielberg. But we're an hour and 20 minutes in. You haven't seen the villain yet. You just saw it for a split second, just a split second to tease you. And this is before fucking social media where you could look it up and then everyone could fucking shit on it. And it's like, oh, that should look bigger. I've seen a shark bigger than that when my mom's boyfriend took me to Florida. Fuck that. It was just a split fucking second in the theater. And you saw it. It was so well done. This movie is so... I can compare this movie to The Dark Knight if you want me to, which is my favorite movie ever. How it's so perfectly done. It just teases the villain, teases, and then it fucking brings it in a fucking so Armageddon type way. This movie is so well done. So well done.
Again, the way that they don't have to cut from camera to camera to camera, like I don't want to say acting was better back then or now. I think that acting was acting in different times has been different. But I think that they had to be more perfect more of the time in these movies because each scene and each kind of clip that they use is so much longer.
Well, I think back then that hey, here's the story. This is the story you're going to portray to each actor. Let's do the best we can to do it. Nowadays, I think it's like, this is an action movie. You don't even have to really act. Like, the special effects, like the Michael Bay shit, is going to take care of itself. I think this is way in front of its time, but I don't think any movie has done this. Nowadays, this movie would be like a Get Out. Like, this movie would be like, hey, this is basically a thriller that has a big meaning behind it. But you would never see a shark movie with great actors, with great character development, and a great story ever in theaters nowadays. Like,
No.
you would never see that.
This movie would never get made nowadays.
Fuck no. Like, okay, so you want to be a stupid action shark movie, or do you want to be in a movie about a good story with great character development and great actors?
The
You gotta
Meg
pick.
is another one, and I actually really liked The Meg. I thought it was a blast.
I still haven't seen it. I know you guys have done a commentary on it. Check it out.
Were you not on that commentary?
No, I've never seen it.
Okay.
I was on Deep Blue Sea, which is another commentary. That's one of our top 5 commentaries,
Yeah.
guys. And girls, if you want to check that out, that's one of the biggest ones. Apparently, people love it.
Sharknado is really the only big shark movie that we haven't done yet.
I've never seen that either. I know. I think is Tara Reid and Mark Cuban in that one, or are they in another one?
Tara Reid's definitely, and I don't remember which one Mark Cuban's in.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. We've kind of got a thing going here. We got 3 out of the 4 big ones.
So, Banner, this would obviously be you, like, way up in the crow's nest, fucking shooting the shark.
Probably, yeah.
I mean, I'm flipping the stakes, and Jeff's like, hey, do it, and Jeff's, like, picking the music, but...
This is super smart. Just shooting the arrow into him, and he's got the barrel, so they can just follow the barrel.
Yep, and also, the barrel adds weight, so it kind of just slows it down and tires it out.
Yep. Who do you think played the barrel?
I don't want to bring it up. It had some problems with me, too. I mean...
I thought it
think
was
the
the guy
actress
that played
was willing.
R2-D2.
I think the actress was willing. I mean, she was 12 years old, but I think she knew.
I mean, in China, that's consent.
And they're actually filming in Kentucky, so...
Yeah, nobody cares there either.
At the time.
What kind of drugs is Quint? Do you think Quint gets his drugs from Chewbacca? Or vice versa? Or do they have the same dealer?
I think they have the same dealer. I guess someone... I'm still like... So I've only seen this movie once all the way through. This is twice. And I'm still not coming up with my best scene yet, but Sunset's about to happen. I know it's about to come, but I didn't know it was this fucking deep in the movie.
Yeah, this is the best scene right here. When they're sharing war stories and scars.
Yes. And
Yep.
Did you pick that too?
I think so.
Okay, because I'll tell you, man, I've been on 2, not cruises or anything, but I've been at Padre and I've been at Destin, Florida. And we took a boat ride at midnight, and it's dark, you're at the sea, you're drinking, and if you're telling old school stories, it is so iconic and romantic, and it's just how life should fucking be. And I would give anything to have me and my bros, fucking you, even Jeff, maybe, if he wants to come, go to a fucking boat at the middle of the ocean and drink and just fucking do a podcast. That would be fucking awesome. But this is the greatest scene in this movie, which is saying something.
Yeah, and a long list of really famous and iconic scenes. this is the best. And again, you have both of them in the same shot for a really long time doing this conversation. So it's all done in one take. Nowadays you would have his face, his face, his face, his face.
So jumpy.
He got eaten by a bull shark. That's actually the sharks that I took care of in a past life.
But this scene isn't as romanticized as a lot of the other scenes in this movie, which is good and bad, because as a second timer seeing this movie all the way through, whenever I see some of these scenes, I'm like, oh, I've seen these at basketball games, I've seen them at baseball games, I've seen them, at TV shows or whatever. This scene, whenever I first saw it all the way through, I'm like, I've never seen this scene, and it's the best scene in the movie, in my opinion. That's why I picked it on the best scene if you go to our Broback, and it was fun because it's so fresh. I mean, the shark coming out of the water, we're going to need a bigger boat. Obviously, I've already seen that scene. Just like people that have never seen Star Wars, Luke, I am your father, then they finally see it, like, oh, so that's where that comes from. This scene was so fresh to me. I'm like, God, this is awesome. Like, it feels like this scene was being made in 2015 when I first saw this movie, and it was awesome. It was a very well done scene. It was Spielberg-esque for sure, man. I mean, that's why he's one of the greatest.
This is the Spielberg that I miss. The Jaws, the E.T., the Indiana Jones. Like, even he wasn't the same when he did Jurassic Park. Like, old school Spielberg is what I miss. I want him to do a movie like this again.
Well, and Banner, I think it ties into our generation that they think that we're somebody that can't pay attention. We have ADD and blah, blah, blah. But in a great movie, I don't care how high octane, high energy you have to have a scene where it slows down and you do just some character development for about 5 to 10 minutes where, characters share stories. And I don't care if it's out at sea. I mean, we're pirates, but we're also cowboys. We love the scene in the fucking
scene.
Yeah, the campfire scene in westerns where you're in the fucking desert and you're just saying you need to slow down your movie and tell some stories and just hammer that character development home. And then some movies nowadays are just like, we're action movies, we're just gonna high octane the whole time. Like, man, we're not invested in your characters. You need this movie. This is a very complete movie. That's why I would compare it to The Dark Knight. It's such a complete fucking movie. There's so much character development. There's a great story. There's a villain that's so much teased that you have it built up in your mind that looks like a satanic devil, and you finally see it an hour and a half in. This is such a great movie, and I think this is one of Spielberg's greatest movies ever.
I think so too. Couldn't have said it better myself. I like I said, I think the only thing I like E.T. more is the story. I think that the directing and the style and everything that he did in this, he also did in that. I just think that coming of age story with Elliot is better than this.
It's so weird, Banner. Like, so if we would just go to the street, which we might do, fuck it. I mean, we don't have anything else to do, but if we go to the street and like we play the Jaws theme and we play the E.T. The kid do the bicycle over the moon, like what do you know? What do you know better? I mean, it's
very polarizing. They're gonna know
so
Jaws
polarizing,
more.
and that's why Spielberg should be saluted. Is he had a movie that was polarizing with this score. Then he had E.T., then he had Jurassic Park.
Well, and you just have to think about this, though. So John Williams is Spielberg's guy, right? What are all the best iconic scores that you've ever heard? Jaws, E.T., Raiders of the Lost Ark, Jurassic Park, Star Wars, Superman, Harry Potter. Name another movie that's better than any one of those 7.
This is why I'm so glad that you're our score guy for the podcast, because let's just compare it to the NFL. Tom Brady, I don't care if you hate him or love him, whatever. He's a great quarterback, right? But you got to see what's he has a great scheme. He has a great coach. He has a great offensive line. Sometimes he has great receivers. When you talk about Spielberg, yes, he's a great director. Does he, give actors direction? Absolutely. But John Williams getting that score to a lot of these movies are like his offensive line. That's like his Randy Moss when they went undefeated in the regular season. They need each other. Is one better than the other? I mean, you can have that discussion, but why fucking would you? They're on the same team. This movie with this score, just like John Williams has done with so many fucking movies, is what makes it great. It's not just the director, it's not just the writing, it's not just the acting. It's such a complete team coming together to make a great movie. This is so weird. We're drunk and we're talking about sentimental shit.
Yeah, it's weird.
We talk about who the shark's fucking in the water right now.
See, I don't think he is. I don't think they're divorced. I think they're separated right now.
I think the shark's just honestly, it's like, I don't want to fuck anyone. I just want to order pizza and I want to watch my Netflix.
Yeah.
Because every time I go home, the kids are screaming, my wife's bitching about something, so.
Close Encounters of a Third Kind. That's another Spielberg Williams.
And Banner, I'll take your word on this. So this is green screen, but the boat is rocking, so the water is going to the top of your screen and to the bottom. I know we're not on that now. Here we're back on it. But that is fucking awesome directing. If you've ever been on a boat like this, god damn it, it's so much fun. Being on the ocean is the most free you'll ever feel in your life. Ever. You don't care about emails. You don't care about your boss. You don't care about where you're at in your life. You don't care about any problems you have. If you're with your, I don't care if you're your wife or your mom or your fucking girlfriend. It's the greatest feeling you ever had in your life. Until right now when the boat's taking on water and you're about to sink.
Yeah, how much would this suck? You're just hammered at sea. Like, these aren't your boys, but you're starting to become boys. And then you're like, oh shit, this shark is gonna get us.
So between me, you, and Jeff and Cycly, who would look at each other as like, do you think we could swim to shore? Who would say that right now?
Oh, it'd be me. 100% it would be me.
Like, there's no way we've been sailing for 3 hours. Who would be the one that's like, I will ride this fucking ship to the ground. I'm the captain, I'll go down with it.
Ooh, probably Cycly.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe you, but...
Depends on how hammered I am. I can also see me just diving into the ocean and leaving all you guys for dead.
Horns would definitely be the one that comes up with a solution where we all get home.
Yeah.
He would call, like, the ocean Uber.
This is a great scene, too, man. Just the boat out on the ocean with the storm clouds above it. This is very, very well directed.
It's just insane. Like,
the mid 70s. It's insane how well directed this is. I'll say, and Banner, I'm embarrassed by our generation. I really am, because this was just it was a shark movie. That's all it was. It's a shark movie. And how well directed this was, and how patiently, and they wanted to get the right scene, and how it made it look cool, and they got great actors in the story. Now we just it's a shark movie. We're just going to do a bunch of CGI and just throw it out there. And I know that takes time. I know that's not an easy job. I know someone has that job, but it's not as well done as it was back in 75, which is really sad to say. I can reel it in the barrel. Would it be awesome if there was a note just like, "Hey, fuck you"? It was like, did the shark wrote that? It's like, apparently it's on the barrel.
Don't they end up putting like 3 barrels on him?
Yeah, they put one, it didn't work, so now they're regrouping.
See,
Clint
you
in
probably
much health.
only actually see the shark on screen, what, 4 minutes total of this entire movie?
So this is the second time we saw it.
Yeah, but again, it was only for what?
Yeah, I don't even know if it was 4 minutes, man. So we saw it for maybe 3 seconds before we said we need a bigger boat. We saw it for what, 4 seconds there?
This
We
right
saw it
here,
for-
this is a baller move.
We saw it for 12 seconds, 10 to 12 seconds total already. Jesus Christ. This would be you, Banners. Like, we don't need it. I was like, dude, I was ordering fucking CC's. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, well, did you get it in? I'm like, no, you fucking banged it before I hit it.
Well, you should have talked faster.
Well, I am hungry, so.
Will you at least like make me a sandwich?
If we were as hammered as we are now, I think we'd just swim in there and try to beat up the shark.
Oh, I would definitely try and ride it like a bull.
Like, Banner, you have a wife and kids. Like, I don't. They'll be proud of me. I'm like, no, they're never gonna see you again. Just
I'm
chill out.
saving them.
You know how concerned our wives would be right now?
There is no way our wives would let us go out on a boat, just the two of us. There's no way.
Our wives are
They're
beautiful
smarter
ladies.
than that.
And there's, I hope, a great chance that one of them, I don't care if it's Cycly's wife, it's Jeff, it's your wife, or my wife, one of them would raise their hand and look at the other ones like, do you think they're just going out to that boat to get away from this and get drunk and do stupid shit and probably do a podcast? There's no way they would think they would come out and just actually hunt a shark. There's no way.
There's no way.
One of them would
None of us have
connect us.
any desire to actually hunt a shark.
I don't give a fuck. I
Like,
mean, sharks. I've never had shark, so I don't even know if it tastes good.
It tastes
now,
awful.
if you have catfish, yeah, absolutely, I'll fucking grill that up. Let's have fun. But I'm not gonna hunt a shark. Fuck that.
Okay, here's the thing. So, you and me, we need a third. Let's be honest with ourselves. Thurman's our third.
Yeah, Jeff is not our third.
Thurman's our third, purely
Yeah.
based on his cooking ability.
Thurman. If we gave fish to Thurman,
He would make it
he
taste
would
like
bring
steak.
spices and seasoning, and yeah, he'd make it great. Yeah, I agree with you. It'd be me, you, and Thurman.
And honestly, that's probably the most likely pairing to get people out in nature for an extended amount of time.
And when it was a boring day, me and Thurman be at the edge of the boat hitting golf balls, like betting each other who could like hit the
Who can
wave
hit
on
the
the end or
who
something.
can hit the shark fin?
Yeah. There's a shark fin up there. It's like, and I got my eye GPS. I'm like, it's 152 yards. Like, so 8-iron. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, if you can hit it first, go ahead. I'm like, I got $20. Absolutely. Yeah.
See, who would have thought you can make yellow barrels like ominous like that?
So this was, I'm sorry, I've fished before, but I wasn't born in the 70s. So like, you know, when you go fishing, you have a buoy, right? So the buoy pops up when the fish catches. Was that before this or after this?
I
Did this
think-
create the buoy?
No, it did not create the buoy. The buoys have been around for
In
Centuries.
75? 75.
People have been fishing for like 2 million years.
In 1975, Banner? Like, we weren't even alive. Like, our parents weren't even dating. They didn't even know who each other were. I mean, this is way back in the day, man.
Yeah, but people fished before this movie came out.
I know people.
This
I know
movie
people
didn't
fish
invent
before,
fishing.
I'm just saying, but the actual buoy, it's a conversation you could have if you're young. Some old guys is like, God damn, you fucking dumbasses. I fucking been fishing with buoys since 1969 when Abbey Road came out with them hippie Beatles. God, this is a great scene too when the boat got pulled down.
Really? So we're getting into the third act here, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
This is fantastic. The rest of this movie is all filmed right here on the boat with these three actors. That's it.
Yeah, because Quint and I have no legality on this, but do you think he was kind of whenever the writer, well, it was from a book, but they're like, hey, we need a Captain Ahab type of character? Because don't you think that's who he is?
Yeah.
This is another time you see the shark.
Yeah, the shark's a solid character into it now.
But he's a Captain Ahab where he doesn't give a fuck about the townspeople. He just wants the big catch. He's been living for this. And he doesn't care if he dies during it. He doesn't care. This is what he was put on this earth for, is for the big catch in the sea.
I would literally do anything. If you're this close, I would do anything to catch this fish.
God, the fucking boat, man. If you're better, if we were in Florida, it's like, yeah, we'll rent your boat for a couple hours and we bring it back like this. Like, well, we were hunting a shark the whole time. It's like, you should have told us that. Like fuck, man.
He's just teasing.
See,
them.
I'd be shitting myself right now because you don't want the boat to go under, man, because then you're in Jaws' territory.
Yeah, but I think we can outswim Jaws. We know he's more of a marathon guy, not a sprinter, so I think we'd be okay.
So, Banner, once again, though, to go back to Cycly, if you follow our Titanic movie commentary or anything where we take the bad guy's side, you're in the middle of the fucking ocean. Why is Jaws in the wrong?
Yeah, no. Not only is he in the middle of the ocean, he's getting shot at. He's just defending himself. This is a classic case of self-defense.
Literally, man, yeah, I went to the bay, I ate a kid, but still, he was in my ocean. I'm in the ocean. Why are you coming after me? I'm in the middle of the fucking ocean. The humans are the bad people here. Absolutely. Jaws is just trying to live his life. He's trying to do his fucking, easy form for the taxes right now. It's tax day. And sharks, like, he's just trying to chill out.
And he's not trying to get all the write-offs and everything. He's just doing what he needs to do.
No. Fucking Andrew Luck just retired on his fantasy team. Like, he's having a bad day and you're fucking trying to hunt him. Fuck.
So I'm not going to say by today's standards that shark looks real. But it still holds up. It's still ominous, for sure.
I mean, I'll say it looks fine. I don't want to be the guy that fucking tears apart. The shark looks not realistic. I mean,
Yeah.
Fuck, man. It's 2019, 2020, man. It still holds up today. It came out in the 70s.
Here, for all those people like, well, it doesn't look like a real shark. Have you ever been on a boat and the shark is trying to eat the boat? Because then you're not qualified to say if that looks real or not.
Fuck you. But subscribe to us still.
Yeah. hit that like button. Leave a comment below.
Sorry, I should have bought cans. Like, it doesn't sound as cool when you open up a bottle
No,
on podcast.
it doesn't. Unless there was a way you can, like, tink every time. But that's just exhausting.
I have the bell, but I don't want to do that.
Yeah, you gotta lean forward, I understand.
There's a lot of variables that go into it.
So is the shark chasing him, or is he dragging the shark?
I think he's chasing the shark, and it's basically a Captain Ahab scenario where he's like, "I'm gonna catch this son of a bitch. I really don't care about you. Everyone can die, but I'm gonna catch this thing somehow." If this was remade today, like Kenny Chesney would be playing in the background, you have a pirate flag, everyone would have their shirts off, but that weird straw cowboy hat on, it'd be awesome.
Okay, let's fan cast this.
Matthew McConaughey, obviously.
As who? Quint?
Everyone.
Everyone.
Anyone that you want. So McConaughey, shit. Maybe, who played Obi-Wan? Hugh McGregor?
Ewan McGregor?
Maybe?
I think he would make a good Hopper.
Yeah.
Or Hooper, whatever.
Ryan Gosling, I can see him playing it.
Yeah, I could see him doing that. Maybe.
You know what's sad,
like,
Banner, is I can see them remaking Jaws. I mean, they remade everything else.
I know. That's one of those movies that you just can't touch. You just shouldn't touch.
I mean, there's a lot of movies you should. I have an idea. This is insane, and I'm really high and drunk. I can't believe I'm saying this on a podcast for people listening. Why don't you come up with an original idea for a movie?
It's so hard to do.
That'd be
when
fun.
There's so many other movies that are they're
Instead
original.
of just regurgitating something that came out 20 years earlier, why don't you just come up with an original idea? That'd be awesome. So us at this time, we'd probably just be like, hey, let's just go away from the shark. And, you know, I think we can still buy a week time away from our wives and just hanging out.
Here's the thing. They shot first. Right?
Yeah.
So why are they sad that they lost? They knew what they were doing.
The shark is not the enemy. You're in the middle of the ocean, dude. What do you expect? And you expect him just to, like, come to your boat and was like, okay, I'm caught. Let's go. He's like, no, I'm going to fight and get away from your fucking everything you're trying to throw at me. It makes no sense. It's so weird that if Quint and Hopper somehow had sex and had a baby, it would be you, Banner. It's so weird because they couldn't. But you're both of them.
Yeah.
And Jeff's no one on the boat, and I'm probably no one on the boat, and Cycly's no one on the boat, and Thurman is the guy grilling out, and there's no one grilling out, so he's no one on the boat. Oh, they're getting the cage now. This is turning into Sandlot right now, which is something we need to do a commentary on that too. But this is like just turning into, okay, we're gonna come up with the next idea to try to catch this thing.
Yeah. Yeah, Sandlot is fantastic. I might watch that tonight. Fucking love that movie.
Do you think after a while though you just come in and have a shot and be like, listen, we're literally 50 miles offshore where we live. Do you think we did our job? The shark's clear out here.
Yeah.
Like, he's probably not coming back.
Exactly.
So let's just go to shore and tell our wives we're heroes and just hang out.
Exactly.
I know you guys can't see us right now, but I think I'm the only one with my shirt off, Banner, which upsets me.
Yeah, it was a little cold. It's been a little chilly here.
Well, that's no excuse. You always have your shirt off.
Yeah, that's true. I took a shower, so I put a shirt on. It was weird. You know, I only shower about once a week, so it was bath night.
But BFS, Bro Force Squad, you would be the one that would get in the water.
100%. For sure. No questions asked.
You're like, you studied this, so go. Because there's no fucking way. I was like, because Jeff wouldn't, and I'd be like, fuck that shit. I ain't fucking going down there. Fuck that.
If he was in the cage, Cycly might do it.
I don't know, man. I don't think so. I think if you talk about alphas on the podcast, you have to talk about me and Thurman, and we talk about how we beat the fuck out of that shark, but then we'd talk about going in the water. We'd both look at you as like, fuck that. We ain't going down there. You can have fun if you want, but we ain't fucking going down there. I was talking about fucking up the shark if it was on the boat where you couldn't breathe air.
Yeah, like if it came walking up on shore.
Yeah. I thought you'd just fin up on shore and kind of shove me in front of the beer line, and I'd just be like, hey, you know, my wife's here, and, you know, I ain't gonna let you do that, and I'd beat the fuck out of him. I ain't fucking going down the ocean. Fuck that.
Here's a fun fact that may or may not be true. So, they did a really good job with the robot shark. One of the problems they had was figuring out how to make a robotic shark that could survive the salt water at Martha's Vineyard.
Okay.
And I don't know, that's all I got.
I got another thing. The robot shark was called a name, but it was because of the director.
Yeah, I forgot what it was called.
I have it up here. Just Google it, guys. I'm not gonna fucking give you fun facts. What do you think this is?
Yeah. You gotta remember, Horns is not on the...
It's called, like, Ben or something. I don't know. I don't want to look it up. I want to watch the scene.
This is a great scene, too. The underwater.
Yeah.
Him, or the shark, just ramming into the cage.
So, it brings up... The reason this is so scary is because... I don't want to give a percentage because I haven't talked to everyone in the world, but a lot of people, their worst fear is drowning.
Drowning, yep.
So, Banner.
You're not drowning if you get eaten by a shark.
Yeah, but you're drowning while you're trying to get away from the shark, but you don't have enough power because you're drowning. I mean, being underwater, does that scare you? Does that scare you with a beast like this under the water that can swim faster than you, and that's their habitat?
Like me personally?
Yeah.
No, I'm good being in the water like this. I am.
But most so you
people,
feel more comfortable being in the water with the shark than being on land with a lion?
Probably, yeah.
That's awesome. But you studied to be a marine biologist. So let's let that be known, because most people listening, according to me, is water is the greatest equalizer ever. And if you're in a fucking habitat with somebody like a animal, what is it? A mammal, whatever, that knows how to swim, then you're fucked. Basically.
Yeah. See, I would, again, like you said, I've been professionally trained in how to be in the water with sharks. So,
yeah.
For me, I'm comfortable and I'm confident in my abilities that it would be fine. I'm sure if I was professionally trained in taking care of hyenas or some shit like that, it would be a different story. And I'm sure we have listeners out there that same way. This right here, shark jumping up onto the boat. That's iconic.
Yes,
the
absolutely.
orca coming down now here.
So Banner, please elaborate. So have you I'm trying to think. So have you ever been in the water with a shark and like what? So tell me some training. Like, is a shark like a bear that if you stay still, it'll leave you alone? Like, what are some trainings? If a shark came up to you, what are trainings that you would? While a guy's getting eaten alive by a shark, what are some trainings that you would tell our listeners that you have learned?
So, first off, if you're scuba diving and you get bit by a shark, first thing you got to do is if it's one arm that got bit, take the other arm. If it's your leg, doesn't matter which arm. But you got to take your hand and immediately hold in your regulator so you can still breathe. Because the first thing you're going to do if you get bit is go, ah, and scream. You're going to drop your regulator out, then you're going to drown. So hold your regulator. Then the next thing you got to do, punch it in the gills, poke it in the eye, hit it in those sensitive spots. This is genius here. I'm gonna
So
throw
interesting.
the compressed air into the mouth and.
So you're right. It is about on scene for 12 minutes because it's been on scene for about a minute and now it's on scene for about 10.
Yeah.
But so right now you'd poke it in the eyes or punch it in the gills.
Yep. That's how you let it know who's boss. It's like a dog sniffing another dog's butt. Those dogs know which one's the alpha.
A lot of times animals that are more powerful than you are actually scared of you because they've never seen anything like you. But if you dominate alpha, if you show them who's boss, then they will go away.
Mm-hmm. It's called science. Heard of it?
But no matter how alpha you are or anything, your wife still runs everything.
Oh, well,
it's weird.
Of course.
That's the way it is.
It's called life, fellas.
I fucking beat the fuck out of a shark in the ocean, but my wife told me I have to go to this
away game.
Concert tomorrow, so gotta go.
I won that away game. All right.
This is a great scene too. This is, and a lot of people might shit on this, and people like to hate stuff, but this still holds up today. I mean, this looks like a shark. I've never. Oh, whoa, Geiger, have you ever seen? No, I've never seen a fucking shark up close. I'm
Which
sorry,
is why you believe it. Like, you're like, oh,
but
yeah.
It does look like a shark. It really does. I mean, Banner, you've been up to sharks up close. Don't you think this kind of holds up?
Oh, it 100% holds up. The way that they have it swim through the water, extremely realistic. Also, if that gun would shoot after being wet like that, he would not have that many bullets. I also don't think if you shot a scuba tank, it would explode like that.
God, this is a great...
The half shark coming down.
I don't know if you know how to answer this, but how does Jaws 2 happen? Because they just blew the fuck out of the shark.
So it's different sharks. It's like, so we just killed Daddy Shark. This is like Mama and Baby Shark.
Okay,
saying
all
like,
all right.
Oh, we're gonna bail him out of jail even though he hit me. But
and then Mama and Baby Shark's like, I'm not gonna let this stand. Okay,
yeah.
So it's like you kill Mufasa, but here comes Simba. Okay, all right.
Yeah, exactly. It happens later because his kids are like stranded on a boat or something, and like it's his kids who are in trouble.
He's like, what happened? I was just fishing for dinner.
Yeah.
Oh, we killed the shark. Oh, that's awesome. I got some bluegill and some salmon. What? Salmon. Well, salmon. However you say it.
That's what I said. So do you think they're laughing because Richard Dreyfuss still fucked his wife?
I think they're laughing because Quint got eaten, which is weird that they're still laughing. Like he just got taken by the sea.
That's how he would have wanted to go, though, Geiger.
Yeah, he's a Jack Sparrow. He's like, if I ever die, I want the sea to take me. Well, you're gonna get eaten by a shark. Well, that's fine. I mean, beggars can't be choosers. That's fine. Can you just make sure all this goes to my daughter? You have a daughter? Yeah, I fucked a chick like 10. It's complicated. Just make sure all these shark heads go to my daughter. I'm sure she'll appreciate them.
Donate the money, but just give her the shark heads.
God, it's such a great movie.
I think they should have ended. Yeah, that is a great way to end the movie right there.
Have you ever been on the ocean? The birds fly so close to the ocean so much. I totally forgot how they blew up the shark too. Totally forgot about that.
Yeah, that's like Deep Blue Sea does it as well, and it's a nice little homage to Jaws here. Guys, that was Jaws. Geiger, any last thoughts?
Man, I've said it before. Very well acted, very well cast, very well directed. Great story. I love the tease that basically you don't see this very much, man. It's like you have a villain, but you don't see him until an hour and a half in. So basically the audience comes up with their mind what they think the villain should look like. It's a very unique way. It's weird. It's in the 70s, but it's still a unique way of doing a movie, which is sad and also happy at the same time, but a very perfect, well-done movie. Obviously, it's a classic, and I think it deserves that right. It is a classic. It should be played on TV and streaming services worldwide.
Yeah, it's like I have said before, fantastic movie. One of my favorites, probably a top 5 movie for me, and there is nothing about it that I don't like. And even the poster of Jaws.
Oh, the poster
is like how many different things have you ever seen that? I mean, they have T-shirts even today. I see them all the time of people wearing that poster, and it's just what this movie did in its time and what it's continuing to do. What 40 years later, 45 years later, is absolutely incredible. So, you guys don't forget to like us on Facebook. We don't really do that. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Do that thing that Jeff does with the boxes. We have a website, www.bro4squad.com. For the Enforcer and the Brain, I'm the Mad Scientist. We will see you guys on our next ship.
Dun-dun.